Coming up on Mountain News this morning, in hopes of pleasing a fictional horror character called Slender Man, a woman stabbed her 6th grade classmate. And the Department of Defense is investigating Senator Mark Kelly over reports of serious allegations of misconduct.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm McKinley Calandrino here with you on this Tuesday, November 25th. The time is now 4:59. Let's check it with meteorologist Megan Dismal for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, what can you tell us?
Well, it's a little bit of a rainy start to your day for most folks, and as you're going throughout your Tuesday, expect showers likely. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar right now. Most folks seeing that rain already, and as you travel towards portions of Wayne County and McCreary County, take a look as heavy rain is already starting. We have so much more rain on the way as we're finishing off the day and continuing into the middle of the work week. But in terms of those temperatures, overall, a pretty pleasant start to your Tuesday. I mean, we're talking mid-50s. It's still a little bit chilly, but your main concern will be the rain chances throughout the day. And as you're heading into the afternoon, keep in mind it's going to be really warm for this time of year. We're still sitting in those mid-60s for the day, and again, showers are likely, so make sure you have that umbrella ready with high temperatures around 4 p.m. McKinley.
Thank you, Megan. The search has ended for a missing woman who was convicted of stabbing her 6th grade classmate more than a dozen times, almost killing her in 2014, in hopes of pleasing a fictional character named Slender Man. Police say they discovered 23-year-old Morgan Geyser sleeping outside of an Illinois truck stop about 25 miles south of Chicago on Sunday. Authorities say Geyser had cut off her electronic monitoring device and left her group home in Madison, Wisconsin. Geyser was found with a man who was charged with criminal trespassing and obstructing identification.
What we do know is that she left, she cut off her bracelet. She fled to Illinois, which is where she was arrested yesterday.
Geyser was placed in a group home this year after being granted conditional release from a psychiatric institute. She was sent there in 2018 after pleading guilty to attempted first-degree intentional homicide. The deal with the prosecutors allowed Geyser to avoid prison for the stabbing. The White House says it's not going to give up after the cases against James Comey and Letitia James were thrown out Monday. A federal judge ruled that the Trump administration exceeded its authority in appointing former Trump aide Lindsay Halligan as interim U.S. attorney. Comey and James have claimed that the cases against them were politically motivated. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
I'm grateful that the court ended the case against me.
A big victory for former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. A federal judge dismissed the Trump administration's cases against them Monday, ruling that the prosecutor who brought them, interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, was unlawfully appointed. The White House is pushing back.
It is our position that Lindsay Halligan is extremely qualified for this position, but more importantly, was legally appointed to it.
Halligan took over the role after the former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia was ousted for refusing to bring the cases. James faced charges of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution, while Comey had been charged with obstruction of Congress and making false statements during a Senate hearing back in 2020. Both deny the allegations.
The message has to be sent that the President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has vowed to appeal.
We'll be taking all available legal action.
Legal experts say an appeal could be difficult for Comey's case, with the charges now beyond the 5-year statute of limitations.
For James Comey, it could mean the end of the case, depending on the timing. For Letitia James, likely not.
Though Bondi says she believes an appeal will be successful. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Of the fact that we have to get out there and lots of flights will be canceled.
Lawyers for New York Attorney General Letitia James also released a statement after yesterday's ruling saying, quote, "This case was not about justice or the law. It was about targeting Attorney General James," adding they will continue to challenge any further political motivated charges through every lawful means available, end quote. The Department of Defense is investigating Senator Mark Kelly over what it says are serious allegations of misconduct. President Trump has been pushing for Kelly, a retired U.S. Navy captain, and 5 other Democratic lawmakers to face consequences. It's over a video the group of lawmakers with military background recently posted. The Pentagon said Kelly could be recalled to active duty to face a court-martial or administrative punishment. We first reported Friday night at 11 that Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning from Congress. The news comes about a week after she had a public falling out with President Donald Trump. Formerly a Trump loyalist, she recently criticized the president and other Republicans over their handling of the so-called Jeffrey Epstein file and the federal government shutdown. Greene's last day in the House will be on January 5th. Some eye-opening findings on vehicle blind zones and pedestrian crashes. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety looked at crash risks while vehicles are turning. They found those with large driver's side blind zones are 70% more likely to hit a crossing pedestrian during a left-hand turn than those with small blind zones. Researchers used real-world data from 4,500 police-reported pedestrian crashes.
I think for the automakers, it's going to be a challenge for them to find ways to address these problems that do not diminish the protection for the vehicle occupant.
IIHS says there are also road design measures to improve pedestrian visibility, like a head start crossing the street before the light turns green for vehicles and curb extensions out into the roadway. The Thanksgiving travel rush is underway with a record number of people expected to fly over the coming days. The TSA expects to screen nearly 18 million people from the Tuesday before Thanksgiving to the Tuesday after the holiday, the most in 15 years. It comes after widespread distributions in air travel following the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Federal aviation officials were out at Newark Liberty International Airport Monday, stressing the neighbors' airports are ready to meet demand.
For us, this week is our Super Bowl. And I'm here to tell you we've got a great plan. We're past the lapse. Controllers are back at work. They're excited to be back on the job. They're excited to be compensated to be back on the job.
If you are delayed or you're canceled, know that it comes from a place of your safety in mind. If it's weather, if it's mechanical, if it's air traffic control, staffing issues, those are the factors that are considered.
AAA projects 70 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more during the Thanksgiving holiday period. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday afternoons are expected to be busier than the rest. A Mass General Brigham study finds pregnant women who stopped taking the popular GLP-1 weight loss medications before or early in their pregnancy could face a higher risk of weight gain, diabetes, and hypertensive disorders. Currently, it's recommended women stop using the drug before pregnancy because there's not enough information about the safety for babies. The study authors say more research is needed. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Perry County is mourning the loss of one of its own. We share some of our moments with the longtime owner of Francis Diner.
And widespread rain chances start off this morning. I'll have more coming up.